So welcome back. This time, we're going to discuss about the parabola with vertex at 0, 0 or point of origin that opens to the left. And this time, the standard equation now of our parabola would be y squared equals negative 4ax. Okay? So, kanina, yung ating parabola that opens to the right, the standard equation is y squared equals 4ax. But this time, if our parabola opens to the left and its vertex is at 0, 0, the standard equation now will become y squared equals negative 4ax. So, nagbago lang yung sign nila. So, this is the vertex again at point of origin, 0, 0. Now, since this one opens to the left, that means our focus should be along the negative x-axis or inside the curve. So this is our focus. So the distance between our focus and vertex is again still it remains as equal to a. Since the movement from the vertex to focus is horizontal to the left, that means from the coordinates of our vertex, the one that will change in value is only the x-coordinate. So, from 0, going to the left with a distance of a, it becomes negative a. So, the coordinates now of our focus would be negative a, 0. Our y coordinates remain the same. Okay? Because there is no vertical movement, only horizontal movement. So, now, coming from the focus, we can now determine the coordinates of the endpoints of the latus rectum. So let's try to identify how this become this one. So from focus, which has the coordinates negative a and 0, we take note, we should always remember that the distance between focus and the endpoint is equal to 2a. Since from focus up to this endpoint, the movement will be vertically upward. So from the coordinates of our focus, the one that will change now, this time, is its y coordinate. So the x coordinate remains the same. The only one that will change is the y coordinate. So since we move upward by 2a units, therefore, the coordinates now of this endpoint of the lattice rectum will become negative a to a. Positive because the movement is vertically upward. Okay? Now, for this endpoint of the lattice rectum, as you can see, there is no horizontal movement, only vertical movement downward from focus up to this endpoint of the lattice rectum. Therefore, from the coordinates of the focus, only the y coordinate will change. So, it will move from focus up to this point by 2a units downward, vertically downward. So, this time, the coordinate of our endpoint of the lattice rectum down here will be negative a, negative 2a. Negative 2a because we moved vertically downward with 2a units downward. That is why it is negative. And lastly, our directrix or the equation of our directrix would be from vertex to the directrix, the distance is again a, and we should form a straight line, broken line, which is perpendicular to our x-axis, the axis of symmetry, behind the curve. So the equation now of our directrix would be x equals a. Okay, this time let us now sketch the parabola with the standard equation, given standard equation y squared equals negative 4x. So let us also complete the coordinates of the missing points or the missing coordinates. So given the standard equation y squared equals negative 4x, so we know that this one will open to the left. So our vertex is at 0, 0. And let us now solve for A. The negative sign here just simply tells us that it opens to the left. So we can equate here 4A equal to 4. So we disregard now the sign. Okay? So 4A equals 4. That means our A is equal to 1. And therefore our 2A will be equal to 2. So the distance between the vertex and the focus will be 1 unit. So from 0, 0, going to our focus, that means we will move 1 unit to the left. The movement is horizontally to the left. That means we're going to have now the coordinates of our focus -1, 0. So from the vertex 0, 0, it moves 1 unit to the left, horizontal movement. So the coordinate of our focus will become -1, 0. Now, from focus up to this endpoint of the lattice rectum, take note that the value or the distance between these 2 points is 2a, which is in this case, this is equivalent to 2. So from the focus up to this endpoint of the lattice rectum, the movement is vertically upward. So that means from the coordinates of our focus, only its y coordinate will change. So positive 2 because we're going to move upward vertically. So the coordinates now of our endpoint of the lattice rectum, this one is -1 and 2. The -1 didn't change because the movement is only vertical, no horizontal movement. And then next, from the focus up to this endpoint of the lattice rectum, downward, the movement is vertically downward. That means, again, only the y-coordinate of our focus will change the value. So this one, the distance is again 2a or equal to 2. So this one now will become -1, -2. Negative because the movement is downward, vertically downward. And then lastly, again, for the equation of our directrix, the distance between focus and vertex is 1. So it will also be the same as the distance between vertex and the directrix, which is 1 unit. And so we just simply create a broken straight line behind the curve, perpendicular to the axis of symmetry, and make sure it is behind the curve, and then we will get the equation of our directrix equal to x equals 1. So this is the sketch of our parabola with the standard equation y squared equals -4x, wherein it opens to the left with the vertex of 0, 0 and focus of -1, 0.